Hi, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we're going to look at active versus passive voice. In this sentence, I ate dosa. Simple sentence, right? I is my subject, ate is the verb, dosa is the object or another noun, right? Now, here, this is an active voice where the focus is on the subject, I. If I have to write this in the passive voice, I'd say the dosa was eaten by me. Okay, the dosa was eaten. So here in the passive, the focus is on the action and not so much on the doer. So dosa is my noun or the passive subject, and then I have the be form. Is, am, are, was, were. Was is the be form, right? So I have the be form, and then I have the past participle of the verb ate or eat. So remember the past participle, third tense of the verb. Eat, ate, eaten. Right? Okay. So now, sometimes I don't necessarily have to write this by me because the focus is on the action, like I said. So for the passive voice, there are two things that you need to keep in mind. One, I use the passive when it doesn't matter who the subject is, or I don't care who the subject is. Two, I don't know who the subject is, right? I don't have enough information on who did the action. So two instances where I use the passive. One is it doesn't matter. And two is I don't know who the subject is or who did the action. Okay, for example, my phone was stolen. That's a passive voice. So I don't know who took my phone, but the focus is on the action. I need my phone back, or my purse was stolen, or my wallet was stolen, right? So in those sentences, I don't know again who took my wallet or who took my purse, but the focus is on the action, right? So these are the two instances when you use the passive. Now let's go ahead and understand the use of the active and the passive voice in specific situations. Now we're going to look at which voice is preferred or used for businesses, for governments, and for regular writing. Okay. The active voice. Let's look at the first example. I made a mistake. A mistake was made. Right? Here the focus is on the subject I. There the focus is on the action, which is the mistake itself. Alright. Now, governments, for example, if they make a mistake, they will never admit saying I or we made a mistake. It is always said like a mistake is made. Or if they don't want to point fingers at someone in particular, that person was responsible. So in order to shift responsibility or in order to hide the person who did the action, the focus is on the action itself. A mistake was made, right? So a mistake was made, we are looking into it, we will rectify it. So they don't get to the point or mention or tell us who did it. Okay, the second one, we killed a lot of people. Focus, we. Subject. Passive, a lot of people were killed. Action, a lot of people died. A lot of people were killed. Right? So here again, newspapers, for example, if a lot of people were murdered, they don't say, such and such or so and so, unless they have information. So let's say in an instance where they don't have information, investigation is still continuing, then they would say a lot of people were killed or a lot of people were murdered. We are investigating the case, right? And let's look at the last one. We will turn off your electricity. Active, we, subject is the focus. Your electricity will be turned off. Passive. So businesses, let's say you didn't pay your electricity bill. okay, for like the last 3 months, 6 months, right? So the electricity board is going to send you a notification warning you, and they're not going to mention we will turn off your electricity bill. They're going to say your electricity bill will be turned off by such and such a date. Please ensure to make your payments, within the assigned time, right? So businesses, newspapers, governments mostly use the passive voice because they either want to hide the subject or the person who did the action, or they don't know, or they don't have enough information. They're still investigating and looking into it, right? They're solving the case. Or just to, because most of the businesses don't want to lose their customers, so they don't want to be very direct or rude to them, right? They want to address the situation and not attack the person. So they will always use the passive. So you use the passive when you don't want to sound rude also. So let's say, for example, I can say, I reviewed your reports and, I didn't like it. Instead of saying that, I can go ahead and say, your report was reviewed and it was not up to expectations. So when I use the passive, I'm not necessarily attacking the person. I'm putting them at ease, but I'm still conveying the message in an assertive way, but not in a rude way, right? So active, on the other hand, is most preferable when you're writing essays or assignments or just for regular writing, because it's direct, it's straightforward, the focus is on the subject, it keeps, it keeps the reader or the listener hooked to the subject. That's when you use the active voice. Now let's understand the application of this through an exercise.